Well, when I was an honours student, I got access to this amazing data set which had information on all kinds of property sales and characteristics of the properties themselves. Now, no one had looked at this before, but it meant that we could explore all kinds of new research questions. So real estate economics is really important to understand for the health of the overall economy, as well as for individuals. When we look at the size of the real estate market, it's actually worth more than the whole Australian stock market. And everyone needs somewhere to live. Most people in Australia own a house or are one day going to want to own a house, and that means that it's also going to be the largest investment a lot of individuals make. So for lots of reasons, it's really important to understand what's going on with prices, what's going on with the volume of properties being sold, and these are all of aspects which go into real estate economics. Look, it would have been great to have even more variables. While I knew a lot of information about the properties themselves and all of the sale information, what I didn't have was information on who was actually buying these properties. Now, if I knew their age or their income, their background, then it would have allowed me to explore a whole new range of questions. I could have explored the behavioral decisions behind real estate purchase decisions. I could understand what was going on at that social level and do even more to contribute to some of the policy issues around real estate. Now, if I had information on people themselves, though, it could have potentially meant a whole lot of new ethical concerns with the research that I was doing. So there are a number of stakeholders in Australia who are quite interested in what's going on with the real estate market. You've got the banks and other commercial organisations. There's then groups like the Reserve Bank of Australia who use real estate economic data as inputs to their own decision making. Journalists are very interested, of course. The real estate market often makes it into the news here. And for the general population, people want to know what's going on. If you own a home, a lot of the time you want to know how much that's worth. If you're looking to buy a home or rent somewhere, you want to know what's going on with the prices in the market you're looking at. So there's lots of different statistics we might calculate when we're trying to understand the real estate market, but the most common that we'll calculate is the median price. And we can calculate that for a particular market, say each month, and it'll tell us a surprisingly large amount about what's going on with the aggregate price trend. And we can see whether that's being driven by external factors. We can see whether policy, for example, interest rates are affecting what's happening with prices. So this really simple measure is actually really helpful. Of course, we don't want to only rely on that because it can oversimplify what's going on with this market where there's lots of other dynamics happening too. So one of the most surprising things when I first worked with real estate data was how, I guess, you might think something is an outlier, but it's actually a real observation. You know, there are some properties which I came across when I was just looking at the data, which had 15 bedrooms and 3 tennis courts, and you think this surely has been a data error entry. Someone's put the wrong data into the spreadsheet and it's carried through. But then I go and research this property and I see, no, it really does exist. This isn't an error, it's just an outlier. The one thing I wish I knew as a student was the importance of all of the friendships that I made while at university and maintaining those once we all left campus.